Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome in to episode 17 of We Made It Nice. I'm Paulina.
And I'm Lucy.
And she's currently stuffing her face with a jelly donut.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Jelly donut, I think, could be the worst donut ever.
Okay, so here's the thing. I've always loved jelly donuts. I'm like a very fruity gal, always. But I was at the donut shop and there were a lot of people. So I thought that I was going to have time to like browse, look at all my flavors, get a feel for it. What's the vibe for today? But then she called on me. I guess everybody else was waiting and I was like anxious. So I got, just because I knew that it was going to be good, a jelly donut, because you can't go wrong, in my opinion.
You can, is what I'm saying.
And then I got a strawberry glazed donut with like extra sprinkles. Oh, it was so good. But then I saw that they had a coconut cream one and I was like, oh, that sounds good too. I like the fruity ones.
You have a terrible taste in donuts.
And you know, I've never in my life craved a donut. I've never liked donuts. I've never been one to like. None of us
have, really. None of us are like donut people.
No. And I woke up and I was like, if I don't have a donut, I think I'm going to die. Like that's how bad pregnancy cravings are. Like if I don't eat it, I feel like this is it. Like this is where life ends for me.
Yeah, like I'm like that hungover. If I don't have Taco Bell, I wish I could put Taco Bell hot sauce like IV into my body. Because if I do not have Taco Bell, I never want to have anything happy in my life ever again.
I feel that. That's pregnancy. And also being hungover. But coincidentally, you feel hungover when you're pregnant as well, which is super fun because I'm obviously not drinking
fake alcohol. Well, the other thing about it though is that when you're pregnant, you have an excuse to have that. Like I can look at my husband or partner, no judgment, and be like, I need you to go get me Taco Bell right now, or I never want to see your stupid face again.
Yeah. I've sent my husband out for like milkshakes before and I like cookies, but he was in meetings. So I had to call dad because
you couldn't go yourself?
No, I couldn't.
Okay.
Dad got me a whole box of dad got me a whole box of cookies. Like you need your husband and your dad.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about the reason we're here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, hold on. I do want to say one more thing about donuts. Have you ever been to Duck Donuts?
No.
Okay. Shout out.
I feel like, is it like
no, it's nothing to do with duck. No. Shout out to my friend who owns the ones on the shore. It's amazing. And I don't really am not a donut person, right? Like, you know, like the donuts and then like they like top them with all this stuff. So that's this place. So all the donuts are like one flavor. They're like the cake one. And then you top them with stuff. Mm-hmm. They have a blueberry one. And which is, I'm not like a fruity tootie, like, you know, I would slap you across the face pregnant to eat that right now. I would.
It's just blueberry?
No, it's like blueberry.
I mean, that sounds amazing to me. No, I love the fruity tootie.
It's like dipped and it's like they went to heaven and extracted flavors from
God.
Yeah. And put it into a donut. Mm-hmm. And it's that donut. And it's so good. It's just so good. And I went down the shore this summer and we went.
Is there one in Philly?
There's a few. It's a franchise. There's one in like KOP.
Is there a particular reason why you haven't gotten your pregnant sister these?
No, because the only one I go to, like the one that my friend owns, is the one at the shore. And actually, I do kind of live near.
Paulina knows the owner.
I could go to the one in KOP and get them for you.
That would be really. I mean, that would be nice.
So good. Okay. Well,
but I don't like, so sometimes we're really getting into this. I don't like how some places do like the bacon on top and do like the weird toppings.
I think they can do that too, but like,
yeah,
you get what
I just want. Like a traditional fruity tootie guy. I'm going to fill it up with some jelly and like, I'm in there. This jelly right now that's in this donut, I feel the same way about your description of heaven.
After I go to Mexico, I'm going to stop by and get them for us. I'm trying to be really nice until I go to Mexico. Okay, back to the reason that we're here today. We've just wasted 20 minutes. Anyway, this is Salt Lake. This is a podcast about Bravo. So join us. And if you thought this was about food or donuts, it's certainly not. But it is a podcast about our hot takes.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's start with the conclusion of another city here in the Bravo universe. We have the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We saw the men today, or that night, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I will say unpopular opinion. I don't know that it needed to be.
Whoa.
I don't know if this is actually an unpopular opinion. Well, you tell me if this is an unpopular
opinion.
But
give us like a little intro. Be like, this is my unpopular opinion of the week. Give us a little something.
This is my unpopular opinion. Is that good?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know that I needed 3 parts. Like Bravo gets a little too like
it's not unpopular.
Greedy with. I know that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion.
You hyped everybody up.
Who is everybody? It's just you right now.
You're right.
We can edit this. I don't know that it needed to be 3 parts.
Keeping it in.
I think that the husband should have just come to the second part, because this part was actually important, and the first part obviously, but the second part was like, why? It's just Lisa talking about bullshit about her renovation. Well, I heard you were talking about my renovations while I was drinking my Diet Coke with light ice and lemon. You know,
I do know. So it's interesting. It's interesting because I don't know how. So traditionally, I've never really liked reunions, right? Like I'm just like, why?
And they can be a little boring, and they stretch it out. And Bravo likes to stretch it out for more content, but it's not necessary.
Right. So, like Miami's reunion was so entertaining, so good. I liked it. But it's interesting because Salt Lake actually was a really jam-packed season. But like looking back at the reunions, I feel like nothing was answered. Like nothing happened in these reunions. Like you talked about the Meredith Lisa thing, which I get. We don't want to make a whole episode about it. But like Meredith is just like, I'm processing. Like, no, I want to hear Meredith defend herself. Like it's just like Seth made one line comment about it. Like, I just feel like nothing happened, even though so much happened in the actual season.
And I feel like Andy went harder on Erica, which is like everybody's critique right now, than he did with Jen. But I thought it was an interesting, so let's segue actually into the conversation. Into the episode.
To add to that point, though, let's just remind the crowd that Jen is the actual person accused of something, whereas Erica is the spouse and she could just be culpable.
Correct.
So that is the big controversy right now, that he didn't grill her as much, but she's the one actually going through it. Please
correct.
Continue.
Okay, so segueing into the actual episode, we see the husbands, and Andy goes there with Sharif. Coach, we love him. And he asks, have you ever questioned where the money comes from? And then we get to learn some things about them that we didn't know, that Sharif has been an attorney for the last like 13, 15 years, whatever it was. And then just giving perspective on.
Well, he was a sports
agent, which
makes a lot of money.
Yes. And now he is a coach for a D1 football team, which they keep saying, like, it's not Little League. They were in the Rose Bowl. I don't follow football.
Thank you so much for disclaiming that, because you just said that with such confidence, and I was about to interrupt you. And
I sold it.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no idea
where is the
literally
Rose Bowl?
Any of this means. The Rose Bowl is in,
what state?
It's in Texas. Is that right?
No, it's not in Texas.
Where is it? Is it in
California?
Florida? Oh.
What?
But you're.
You know what? Now I'm going to cross-check myself, because your stupidity has made me question myself.
I sold it, though.
You really did. I was like, is that Aaron Andrews, commentator for Fox Sports?
No, hold on. No, not Aaron Andrews. He sucks.
It's in Pasadena. Do you think it snowed?
Do you think it snowed during the Rose Bowl?
I knew that. You made me second guess myself. I literally went to school for sport management.
I have been nonstop giggling this morning. Oh, it's going to be one of those days.
Donut. Anyway,
so the Rose Bowl.
With your ESPN update.
The Rose Bowl, not Little League. This is like big boys.
That's games. A big boy.
Yeah.
When did this big mother effer get here?
So, Oh my God, just focus.
Yeah, I'm going to continue because you lost your train of thought. So
Yes.
basically, yes, he's saying, well, you think that this is what I do, which like a Division I football player, I'm going to guess here. I have no idea. I have no idea. Please let us know if you are a Division I football coach and would
Wait,
like
I know how much he made in 2020 being a coach.
Did Google tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. What did he make?
I got my facts, girl. $553,215, which is not chump change, but
it's not.
Why are you spending $50,000 a month on
100%?
glam?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, because when she first started, I thought she had like a lash company, and I was like, what kind of marketing
She's
company?
apparently in like fashion and like beauty or some shit. I don't really.
Anyway, so yeah, so he was a sports agent, so made money there. He's an attorney now. He's a Division I football coach, which yes, I agree, not chump change. He's not the head coach though. I bet the head coach makes over $1 million. $500,000 is significantly more than I make. So I'm not saying.
I mean, this is the Rose Bowl we're talking about.
This is the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, where the weather is uncertain sometimes.
It can snow.
It can snow in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl.
You can flip your car 19 times going to the Rose Bowl. Were you about to say that?
It's like our housewives are like uniting, and then sports.
Worlds collide.
We have become a diverse podcast. We are diverse.
We're talking donuts. We're talking Rose Bowl. We're talking Weather Channel, Pasadena. We're talking embezzling money or fraud.
We are like that was 4 things, so not the trifecta, quadfecta. We are the quadfecta of podcasts.
No, quad, I don't know.
Okay. So basically the point that Sharif was saying is like, we have money, aka thank you so much for thinking that like, whatever, I don't work anywhere. But I will say his car was still shit. Okay, me with the T. Like his car, like him picking him up season 1, like whose car was
Maybe
that?
It was like his son's car or something.
That could be true.
I mean, like, I feel like dad drives a beat up car and he's like, I don't care. Like, you guys drive nice cars. Like, I don't,
I mean, our family's like, okay, but I don't think
dad doesn't coach for the Rose Bowl.
Like $100 million.
But I feel like that's dads. They're like, I don't care. Like, I'd rather you guys have the nice stuff. Like, I'll drive a
no. 2004 you guys rent the nice stuff. You guys rent the nice stuff. You don't get to buy the nice stuff.
Yeah.
Lisa should have said that about Jen too. Why can't you buy a house?
I'm sure we'll get that next season.
Oh my God, we're so sidetracked. Typical. Okay, so, but he made a good point because I did not know that. So, that is true. Like when you make that like millions and millions and millions of dollars in the past, like you don't spend that all in one place.
And
so,
I'm
like,
sure they have investments and like,
yeah, so totally
money and stock.
I don't know. I just think it's weird when people that rich like don't own a house. I don't know why I think that's like the most random thing ever.
Well, maybe it's because he coaches and it's only like a 1-year contract at a time. So it's like, we're not going to buy anything because we don't know if we're going to have to move.
Sell it. You can resell it.
But maybe they do own a property somewhere else. I don't know.
I don't think they do. I think they did it for the show.
I don't know, man. But they're basically sticking to the story of Jen's innocence, and Andy's like, do you even understand what Jen does? And he's like, yeah, of course I understand what she does. I can't really divulge into it because it's an ongoing, like legal case, but I am fully aware of what her career is. And he's sticking to the story of, I had my assistant call her that I was in the hospital on the day. He
made up the lie. Did he say it was a lie?
No, he said he was like, I was having health issues and I had my assistant call my wife, who I needed at the time, obviously, to come. So they're sticking to the story
it's a coincidence, though, that they get that call.
Very much a coincidence.
They're driving.
And also when she's answering it, she's like, hey, baby. So like it had to have been, well, I guess she answered it, hey, baby. So it could have been, somebody else on the other line. But
I know. I don't believe
they're sticking to that. They're sticking to that story. And I guess they have to stick to it because it's like a legal case now. And that's their
not alibi, but that's their, yeah. I just don't see Sharif being a liar.
He's a lawyer too, though. So
yeah, you're right. He
could be a really good one.
Yeah.
He's smart.
He loves her.
Mm-hmm.
He loves her
And again,
so.
it was really hard to see the both of them talk about the footage. And Andy even asks, he was like, you really wanted us to show that? And she was like, yeah, because my kids had no idea what was going on. And they're being treated this way. Like,
15 years
God
old.
forbid my son Omar was, sleeping and he like flinched. And then like, one of the cops didn't like the way he flinched or like got nervous about that. And then it could have been a completely different story. So she's like, I wanted to show that. And what's sad is she didn't know about any of this because she was in custody at the time until she got home that night and then saw this footage. And I mean, that had to have been heartbreaking.
Can you imagine being a mother and like finding that out? But also not even that, like just, Jen is a minority,
I mean, I
and
think that that's the point.
no, hold on, let me finish. So Jen is a minority, right?
Mhm.
And all minorities are like this movement that's happening in the world, it's Black Lives Matter is the movement. And
Mhm.
that's not discrediting or lessening any other minority going through something right now.
No, I think
But
that it's
they
the
have
minority right now that's
yeah,
experiencing the most
100%. And they have and Jen
continual.
and Jen and Sharif are an interracial couple. So 100% Jen has, and she's expressed it. She's like, I have felt, I forget, like, I don't know the right word, but like victimized as a kid or judged
Or like racially profiled.
thank you, racially profiled. But then imagine having a Black son, and
Yeah.
she has said many times like she does think about all those things, but like that's so terrible. She's like, I put my Black child into this situation,
Yeah.
and whether she's innocent or guilty or whatever it is, like I could not imagine being a mother and
No.
like experiencing that. Like that is like I like when I saw that I just wanted to cry. I felt
Well, and
terrible for her.
it reminds me of Potomac, where Wendy has to, well, her two little twin boys, I think their names are Carter and Cruz. They're like
Yeah.
6, maybe like 5, 6, whatever. And they're like, oh, like, should we be scared of the police? Like they're so little and they don't understand. And she's like, it's heartbreaking. Like as a Black woman having to explain to my children, my very young children, what's going on in the world, and kind of in a sense like breaking their innocence and having to take that away from them because this is unfortunately the reality that we live in. So it's super
100%.
heartbreaking.
I'm very happy they kept
And
that
then
in.
seeing it on footage, like seeing them treating, I know.
Especially, you know what I just thought of? Jenny is sitting on that couch.
Yes.
Jenny is sitting on that couch, and hopefully, like, she says that she didn't mean anything malicious.
She said her assistant, like,
yeah,
or she had a social media, like.
But I hope sitting there watching this helps her understand what the incorrect thing that she did and how her repercussions of her actions. We'll see.
We'll see.
But I wanted to make a point. Sorry, I do want to go back when we were talking about Sharif specifically. So I was saying like he really just like loves her. He loves her so much.
They've been together what, like 20 some years?
Yeah, like
something like that.
I don't know how, I'm not here to like judge people's physical appearance, but she's clearly had work done, and I think she's got a little too much done, in my personal opinion. I just like wonder like what my boyfriend would ever say to me, like if I did all that, sorry, that's just like a side note.
As a side note.
Yeah, like I just wonder if he'd be like, no, you like don't even look like yourself anymore, like I wonder if Bill Aiden says that to Jen, like
with her goofy nose. I said it.
Anyway,
said it again.
You say it every week. So do you think, because I just think it's so disrespectful to bring up cheating rumors if there really isn't like a real lead, if you don't have a lead on it.
What do you mean, like
Jen's so Sharif and Jen, like, do you think like that's what there were rumors about,
I don't know. We've heard now 2 different stories of it. That like they were her and Meredith were dating the same guy from New York. which they, said no, but it comes from somewhere. Like that's just not blatantly made up. Yeah. And then the whole Uber situation, which actually Andy asked about, and it was basically Jen saying, no, like Heather ordered me the Uber and that one of my friends picked me up, but I didn't want to tell her because she doesn't like this friend. Apparently this friend stole from Heather's house or whatever. So she didn't want to make Heather mad. Now, do I believe that? Maybe, but that's now two completely different instances where they're bringing up affair rumors. So I'm like, maybe they went through a separation, same as Meredith and Seth. Maybe they have an open marriage. Whatever. But if they're both happy and negating it, whatever, like we can only take their word for it.
Right. I just love Sharif. And I want to
I really like him too. And he does. He's like in love with her.
And I want to protect him. Okay, what else happened in this reunion?
So Seth and John, because Andy asked each of them about Lisa's infamous rant. And, they were both obviously in defense of their own wives, but they were like, we're really good friends and we hope that they can reconcile. What do you think, if they will or not? Me? Whether they will or not. Yeah.
So I think, just a sidebar again, John Barlow, that's an excellent way, and this is how Bill Aiden should be. There's a way to defend your wife without supporting what if they did something wrong.
She did. Yeah.
Yes, there's a way to do that, and that's like something that I, reiterate in my relationship. I'm like, I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm not telling you to tell me I'm right, but you need to have my back. Yeah. And John Barlow did that. He was like, well, that's my wife and I'm always going to stand by her.
But and he's like, and that was very much not like her. Like,
yes, but
very out of character.
Very out of character. She loves Meredith. She loves that family. And we've been friends for years. And yes, I did tell my wife in the courtesy of our own home that I did not agree with what she did.
Right.
But that is an excellent way.
But he didn't throw her under the bus.
Absolutely.
Or walk away like Bill Aiden was like, yeah.
No,
I'm
like
out.
Bill Aiden could have been like, please don't speak about my wife. This is guys' night. I don't agree with all the things that she said, but she's my wife and I know her intention. And I'm not going to let you sit here. And I'm here to enjoy guys' night. If you guys would like to enjoy it, I'm happy to let the women do their thing. But that's where I stand on it. And I guarantee they would have accepted that, maybe pushed a little bit more, and then he could have stayed.
But I feel like if John Barlow was in the situation that Jen and Melissa were, John would have been like, all right, Lisa, like enough. Like, let's like, we're having people over. Like, let's just relax. Like, do you know what I mean?
He would have taken her away.
And he would have taken her away and been like,
and in the room been like, you need to stop.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Where Bill was like, I'm going to go get a drink
that's
at
a way
the bar.
I don't even want, I'm going to use this phrase and I'm whatever, to calm your wife, to calm her down. Like that's a way, but it's not calming her down. Like, in a lot of relationships, people look for somebody
it's just giving her perspective. It's removing her from the situation and being like, yeah, but it's removing her from the situation and just being like, listen, this isn't you. Like give yourself a minute. And then like, it's just perspective. Because when you see red, you see red. Mm-hmm. So it's just like a matter of regrouping, and your husband's your best friend, and he's the only one sometimes who can get through to you. So it's like just pulling you away from that situation and being like, let's take a minute, whatever you need. If you want me to kick people out, I'll kick people out. If you want to just like continue to party, we'll party. But like, let's just regroup a minute.
Exactly. Like that's the best way.
Where I feel like I could see John doing, I can actually see, with the exception of Dewey, because they're irrelevant, I could see like I think all of the Salt Lake husbands doing that because they're all actually friends, but so we're in Jersey.
Oh, not Pop Up.
Oh, not Pop Up. Oh, sorry. He doesn't count. I literally forgot about Pop Up. Oh, Pop Up. I'm going to miss him. Mm-hmm. No, like Sharif would, Justin would, because they all are friends, but in Jersey, they're all friends too, which is so interesting. Because Joe would have been like Melissa.
The sister. We'll get to Jersey. I said it's the dynamic because of Teresa, but we'll get there.
But one last point I just wanted to, or just talk about with Salt
For
Lake,
Salt
and then I
Lake.
think we can
Go
move
there.
on because this is the last episode. Andy was asking Jen if she has had any contact with Stuart since the arrest, and she said no. And then none of the girls, the women did. Heather said that she called him the day of,
And so did Lisa.
and so did Lisa, but that he didn't answer. And Andy asked how she felt about him changing his plea. What is it? His plea
Bargain.
to
His plea bargain.
no, because it's not a bargain, just his like plea of like innocence to guilty or like
Bargain.
non-innocent.
Okay.
Guilty, not guilty. Sorry. So he changed it to guilty, which Andy was like, a lot of people
I
are
think that's
saying this
just
could be
called
really
plea.
bad for your case. Yeah, that's why I just have plea. That which could be really bad for your case. And I guess obviously Jen really couldn't answer because it is a legal ongoing thing. But she didn't seem fazed by it. And she kept
Yeah.
saying, like, we weren't business partners. Like, that's still kind of a little bit unanswered for me. I don't know if you feel the same way.
So it's not, she does keep saying, what I'm fine with her saying is that we weren't business partners, because what I believe, if she is guilty, is like, she was in this business and was like, hey, almost like, you know, those people who like mine, like data mine, not data mine. Yeah, like data mine, or like right now, like crypto's huge. It's like I'm making all this money, but if I bring, it's a Ponzi scheme. If I bring you in, like you can make some too, but then I'm getting richer. Literally like those hair things that people sell on Instagram. It's like,
Okay.
so I don't think that they were partners. I think that Jen was doing this and like loved Stuart and was like, hey, let me get you in on this, because she did say, he said in like, they did a flashback, you've always taken care of my family, things like that. So I think it's like, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to embezzle money from old people and take care of their family. And that's what I think happened. So I don't think that they're business partners. I don't agree with her saying though that we weren't close or weren't friends, because that's not true. He's like taking the tampon out of you. So you can't
She
say
said that? I don't remember that.
no, she
No,
didn't. But
she
like,
said that we were close and,
no,
you know.
oh, no, she's like, no, in an interview, I feel like she was just like, we're not really like close or friends.
I'm sure now.
I don't know. All I know is that's triggering in my brain. So I think I'm not lying.
Okay.